That wobbly bookshelf you put together at 1 a.m., the one with a shelf that leans just slightly to the left, your brain is in love with it, and there's a name for exactly why. Here's the part that should bother you. Researchers have found that people will pay roughly 63% more for a piece of furniture they assembled themselves than for the exact same piece, already built, sitting right next to it. Same wood, same screws, same slightly crooked door. The only difference is who turned the screwdriver. This isn't a marketing theory or a guess. It comes from a real study out of Harvard Business School led by researchers Michael Norton, Daniel Mochon, and Dan Ariely. And they didn't just study furniture. They had people fold origami, build with Legos, and yes, assemble actual IKEA boxes. What they found has a name now, and once you hear it, you'll start noticing it everywhere, even in places that have nothing to do with furniture at all. So what's actually going on here? Why would putting in the work make you like the result more, even when the result is worse? Psychologists call this the IKEA effect, and the short version is this. Labor creates love, not because the finished product is better, but because you're in it now. Your time, your frustration, your one bent Allen wrench are baked into that shelf, and your brain doesn't like admitting that an hour of swearing at instructions produced something mediocre, so it quietly rewrites the story. The shelf isn't crooked, it's got character. It isn't wobbly, it's just needs a book under one leg. You're not rating the object anymore, you're rating your own effort, and effort always grades itself generously. Here's where it gets specific and a little funny. In one part of the study, people folded origami cranes and frogs badly. Most of them looked like crumpled paper with opinions. Then they were asked to bid on their own creations. The makers valued their own paper animals at around 23 cents on average. People who didn't make anything and were just shown the same folded paper were only willing to pay about 5 cents for it. That's nearly 5 times more for the exact same lump of paper based purely on who folded it. And it gets stranger. When outside observers were shown professionally folded origami made by someone who actually knew what they were doing, they valued that expert work at around 27 cents, barely more than what the amateur folders thought their own messy frog was worth. The builders weren't just fond of their work, they half believed it belonged in the same league as the professionals. Now here's the twist that makes this more than a cute quirk. The IKEA effect isn't automatic. It has a condition, and it's a strict one. In the same research, when people built something and then watched it get taken apart, or when they started a project and never got to finish it, the love disappeared completely. No boost, no attachment, nothing. The effect only shows up when the labor ends in something you can point to and call done. That's the real engine here. It's not effort by itself that creates value in your mind. It's effort plus completion. Your brain isn't rewarding you for trying. It's rewarding you for finishing, which is exactly why a half-built, flat-pack dresser sitting in pieces in your hallway feels like a small failure, while that same dresser, crooked drawer and all, standing fully assembled against your wall, feels like an accomplishment worth defending. Once you see this, you can't unsee it outside the furniture aisle. It's the reason a mediocre home-cooked meal tastes better to the person who cooked it. It's the reason a rough first draft feels precious to the person who wrote it and disposable to everyone else. It's the reason a manager falls for their own flawed project plan, or a founder can't see the obvious hole in the business they built from nothing. The IKEA effect isn't really about furniture. Furniture is just the version you can measure in dollars and screws. The actual pattern is about how ownership built through your own sweat and mistakes quietly overrides your judgment about quality. So think about that shelf again, the one leaning slightly to the left, the one you'd never let anyone else in your home talk badly about. It's not that you're bad at judging furniture, it's that somewhere between the first screw and the last, you stopped rating the shelf and started rating yourself. Which raises the real question, if your own hands can convince you that crooked is charming, what else in your life have you decided is good simply because you're the one who built it?